Pratishutam adatuste. You promised to give 3 paces of land, but adatu, you haven't given. So for a person who does that, who promises but fails to deliver on his promise, the prescribed result is niryevasa. He should live in hell. Pratishutam adatus. He's promised, but he's reneged on his promise. He's failed to give. Then hell. Oh, Vishatvam. So now you go to live in hell. Vishatvam niriyam tasmat. That's the prescription, so you should live in hell. And Guru na chanumodita. This is also in accordance with what your spiritual master has approved. He cursed you to be bereft of all opulences, so now you go live in hell. Of course, this is a benediction from Lord Vamandev. The hell in which Bali Maharaj, to which Bali Maharaj will be consigned, will in fact be more opulent than the heavenly planets. But superficially it appears that he's being degraded to hellish life. Srila Prabhupada quotes Narayana Parasarve and Nakutashrana Bibhyati, devotees not afraid of going anywhere. Svargapa Varga Natakeshvapi Tulyartha Darshana. He sees all these places, heaven, hell, or heaven or hell or liberation, Apavarga, as being all the same. And Prabhupada's take on this, his explanation on this, is illuminating. The Krishna conscious person engaged in the service of the Lord sees with equal vision that this, in the Bhagavad Gita also, tulya nindatma samstutihi, tulya dhira, like that. Where is that in 12? A few places, it's like these descriptions are given, how he's equal in seeing everything. No, it's not there. I've forgotten where it is. Tulyanindatma samstutihi. Someone will find it. Anyway, that description is given. So this equal vision, we know even vidya vinaya sampanne, brahmane gavihashtani, shruni chaiva shopake pandita samadarshana. He sees all living entities equally. He sees heaven and hell equally. Tulya. Tulya means a balance. Tula is a scale, balance scale. So Tulya, he sees equally. Why is that? It doesn't matter where he lives. It's superficial. He's living in Krishna consciousness. And because he's living in Krishna consciousness, the external atmosphere is of no great importance to him. Purijan Prabhu told a story just the other day how in Japan, Srila Prabhupada came to Japan and there was a morning program and it was very cold, these houses in Japan with their paper windows and simple place, not very well heated. And Purijan said he was shivering like this, shivering and shivering. And Prabhupada was sitting there, and after the program, or toward the end of the program, he said, "It's cold, isn't it?" And Pujaj said, "Yes, Srila Prabhupada." But Purujan's realization from that was that the way Prabhupada was experiencing the cold was not the way that he himself was experiencing the cold. That for Prabhupada, was focused on serving the instruction of his spiritual master. And so the cold was, all right, it was there, but it was superficial. Whereas Pujaj said that he himself was absorbed in how cold it was. So it's our consciousness that's crucial here. The person who's thinking of his own comfort, his own happiness and distress, his own bodily situation, or his own mental situation, will be disturbed by so many things by his surroundings, by the environment, by the people, by not getting this, by getting that. He'll be disturbed. But the Krishna conscious person lives for service. And because he lives for service, he's ready to go anywhere. And it doesn't really matter whether it's too hot or it's too cold or it's too, whether there's a war going on around him or whatever it is, he's going to serve. He's going to serve. And that's really where he lives. He lives in the world of service. And what is that world? That's Vaikuntha. Vaikuntha is the place where everyone's mind is absorbed in Krishna and serving Krishna. Therefore, Prabhupada says a devotee actually lives transcendentally. Although he may appear to have gone to hell or heaven, he does not live in either place. Rather, he lives in Vaikuntha. Sagunan samati chaitan brahmabhuyaya kopate mam chayo vyavacharena bhakti yogena sevate. We see this with our book distribution parties. They're going to very difficult places. Their devotees are undergoing a lot of trouble to go here and there and try to distribute books this way, that way. But they're very happy. The brahmacharis in their vans or whoever it is that's distributing books, they're feeling happy. They're not feeling, oh, why do I have to be here? Why do I have to be there? Those who are absorbed, those who are advanced, of course, in the beginning, we may feel, why have they brought me here? Why have they brought me there? When are we going back? But those who are advanced look forward to going out. They look forward to going out. The Harinam party in New York, they look forward to going out, whether it's to the subway or the park, or whether it's going to be hot or cold. They're not thinking, let us stay back. They're thinking, let us go out. Because that's where the nectar will be. It doesn't matter whether it's, we could be in Vrindavan, but we can be in New York. New York is also Vaikuntha. Prabhupada, for the mission of his Guru Maharaj, left Vrindavan. Why leave Vrindavan? That's what the conditioned souls do. They leave their natural position of service and go to the material world somewhere. But Prabhupada left Vrindavan to serve his spiritual master's orders in the West. And he said, Ugrastan, it's a terrible place. But in that terrible place, Srila Prabhupada was serving. And therefore, he was living transcendentally. He was living in Vaikuntha, Vrindavan, and he was living in the association of his spiritual master, because the spiritual master is present by his instructions. So Srila Prabhupada was living in, apparently to the outsider, he was living in New York in some flat somewhere on Bowery or Second Avenue. But actually he was living in Vaikuntha in the association of his Guru Maharaj, or in the association of Krishna. The holy name of Krishna is non-different from Krishna, Binnatan Nama Namino. Bhagavatam is non-different from Krishna, and Krishna's service is non-different from Krishna. Therefore, even in hell, that's also, one also can live in Vaikuntha. Srila Prabhupada sometimes said it's the consciousness that creates Vaikuntha. And the person who's not in Krishna consciousness, even if he's in the association of devotees, even if he's right next to the spiritual master, even if he's right in front of the deity, he's in hell, or he's in the material world. And the Krishna conscious person is in the spiritual world, wherever he may be. So this understanding is there that for Bali Maharaj, wherever I may go, it's all the same. And apparently it seemed that Bali Maharaj, Vamandev was insulting or punishing Bali Maharaj, but actually he was glorifying Bali Maharaj. And why? Because Bali Maharaj did not hesitate to carry out the order of Lord Vamandev. Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Kita Janma Hao Yatatva Tuyad Dasa. If I live as an insect, that's all right. Just let me have the association of devotees. So here also, because that devotees are engaged in the service of the Lord, anyone who lives with them, also lives in Vaikuntha. Tandira Charana Sevi Bhakta Shanevas. The devotee wants to live always in the association of other devotees. Or an outsider enters the association of devotees and he feels like he's entered a different world. In the material world, everyone is self-interested, motivated for their own personal interest. But in the spiritual world, the devotees are all engaged in trying to please Krishna. No one's envious of anyone else. No one's trying to get the better of anyone else. So just let Krishna be pleased. So when the non-devotees enter that atmosphere of pure devotional service, they can also feel that we've entered a different atmosphere. We've entered it. Here it's very different. The food tastes different. People are different. Everything's different, not just superficially because the dress may be different or the spices may be different, but deeply they perceive something because the devotees are living in the Vaikuntha world, the world of service. There's some comment by Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti on Thakur. The Lord now speaks to show to the world the steadiness and pure bhakti of Bali Maharaj. Niraye means in hell. Now, this is approved by your guru. You can ask your learned guru whether what I now say is reasonable or not. Actually, since even a person with bhakti abhas, just the beginning of devotional service, should not go to hell, just for breaking your promise, you also cannot go to hell. Niraye can also mean nilaye, since ra and la can be interchanged. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is playing a word game here, that niraye can also be nilaye. Then please go and live in my abode, Vaikuntha, nilaye. Though now I am ordering you to enter my special place, Sutal, provided by me, after your position there is finished, I will have you enter Vaikuntha. Though you disregard your guru, because you know he's opposed to me, I understand that he has lost his discrimination out of great affection for you. He is also dear to me. Therefore, go with him to Sutal. So there's some blessings there, even for Shukracharya, that he can also go to Sutal, because he's, Vamadev takes it, that he spoke in this way out of affection for you. We take it that Shukracharya was completely self-interested, that he was angry because his disciple was giving away the wealth on which he himself, the guru, was depending. It appears from this comment that Vamadev took the good part, that no, he's out of affection for you, he's tried to rectify you in his vision. So he can also go to Sutal. All right, are there some questions? I haven't looked at the chat box.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, just actually on this last point. Yeah, I don't understand this. You're saying that he just took the good part. You know, I mean to say, it just seems like an out and out mischaracterization of Shukracharya. So how do we see it as taking the good part when it doesn't seem like that was the case at all? That he had it was due to affection.
That's
for Bali.
Because you're not Lord Vishnu, you only see what a demon this Shukracharya is. He's the guru of the demons. He's always, he's a Shukracharya, he's a seminal guru. He's not at all giving spiritual instructions. But it appears from the comment by Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, something good can be found also. Srila B.R. Sridhar Maharaj told the story that there was some court case, and maybe it was the judge's first decision. Anyway, there was some court case, and the defendant was found guilty, and the sentence was going to be heavy. But the judge said, can anything good be said about this man? And practically no one could say anything good about him. But then someone said he's very kind to his family. The judge said, then I forgive him. So in this way, the quality of a good soul, of a great soul, is that he finds good in everyone. The quality of the ordinary person or the envious person is he easily finds the bad qualities, and he can hardly see good. Nothing good. Person's a rogue, person's a rascal, person's a skunk, person's a cheater, person's a liar, person's a dirty, he's this, he's that. Easy to find the bad qualities. But the quality of a great soul is that he can find something good. He can find something, like Prabhupada, who did Krishna sent him? Hippies. I mean, people who were dirty, people who were, I mean, literally dirty, not, didn't bathe, people who were taking intoxicants, people who were having sex like cats and dogs, people who had no respectable position in society, people who were dressed like ragamuffins. This is what Krishna said. And Prabhupada found some good quality. This boy likes to hear. This person likes to serve. This person is good at this. This person is very affectionate. This person's something good. They're coming. That much, they're coming. And the art is how to find that little bit of good and then magnify it, how to find that little spark and then fan it so it becomes a flame. So Prabhupada took these people who, if there's some good quality he could find, and turned them into great souls, turned them into leaders, turned them into teachers, turned them into pure devotees. But first we have to find some good quality. So that's there. That Lord Vishnu found some good quality in Shukracharya even. And therefore, according to Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, he said, yes, he can also go to Sutal. He's also going to hell, but he'll be in your association. He'll be in your association. So now there's two more questions here. Is that all right, Gail?
Actually, I see a difference between finding that haystack needle and calling it something that it's not. You know what I mean?
Question of vision. For you, it's not. But just like your child, if your child, or let's not take your child, let's take some rascal child. The child is a thief, the child is maybe a drug dealer, child is this, child is that, but the mother will always see something good. No, he's a nice boy, he's just fallen into bad company. Actually, he's a good boy, right? Mother will always see that way. Mother doesn't think I'm just making excuses. The mother thinks, no, he's a good boy.
Yeah, but that mother is an illusion because of affection.
They're all an illusion. It's all illusion because he's neither good nor bad. He's but he's affected by the modes of nature. Ultimately, everyone. They're just superficially covered. Everyone is good, but we're superficially covered. Therefore, Chanakya Pandit says that a learned person knows how to take nectar from a pitcher of poison. An ordinary person looks and says, it's poison, everything's ruined. But the expert knows, I can get some nectar from here. He knows how to take gold from a filthy place. The gold in a filth, you can look and say, there's just filth there. No, there's gold. If we know how to take it. Or he takes instruction even from a lower class person. Somebody that says, oh, he's a Shudra, he's a this, he's a that. But the learned person sees, no, he has transcendental knowledge. I'll learn from him. Or Sri Ratna Dushkaladapi. This girl is coming from a low family, she's a low-class girl, but a learned person sees no, she's Sri Ratna, she has all good qualities. Maybe she's born in a low family, that doesn't count. Low-class person doesn't sees, oh, this person's, he's an American Vaishnav, he's a Russian Vaishnav, he's a Chinese Vaishnav, he's not a real Vaishnav. And he's coming from a carpenter's family, that means he's a Shudra, and material vision.
Yes, so okay, that's a very good example. Let me just say then that, yeah, you can see that, no, it's not just that he's coming from a low-class family. He has all these other, good qualities. But that doesn't mean that you say, because he has other good qualities, that therefore he's actually coming from a high-class family. You don't.
That's not said here. It's not said that Shukracharya, anything else about Shukracharya, just that it's said that he had affection for Bali Maharaj. Okay, good enough. I'm just reading the commentary. That's what it appears to say, that he's affectionate to my devotee. Okay, he can come too.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. I mean, I'm not going to say that he doesn't have any affection for Bali Maharaj. I'll accept that he has some modicum.
So that's all right. Vishnu, the quality of the great soul is he magnifies it.
Okay.
Just like the hippies, they're hippies, all right, maybe they, went to high school or something, or maybe they had some interest in India or something, but the spiritual master, the expert, he says, oh yes, they're very interested in India. Why? Because of spiritual culture. Actually, they're spiritually looking for something. He finds some good quality, and then he magnifies that.
Mm-hmm.
This boy, he's not very learned, but he's always likes to do something for me. All right, good enough. He's bringing toilet paper and he's drunk, but he wants to do service.
Okay, Maharaj. I mean, I can accept that, Shukracharya, he did have, in the midst of his selfish motive, there might have been some affection there for Bali, and because of that, he accepted.
Yes, Vishnu saw that. Yes, this is there.
I mean, it wasn't pure affection, but some affection was there.
We better hope that Lord Vishnu sees that way. Otherwise, what hope is there for us?
No, yeah, I want that for me, but I just wanted to understand it for Shukracharya too.
Imagine if Lord Vishnu saw like a conditioned soul. He'd see all the bad qualities and he'd, leave extra instructions at the gates of Vaikuntha. If this these people show up, both the gates. But if there's some good quality, all right, come on. I have two more comments here or questions in the chat box. And then we'll come to, well, all right, Adi Prabhu.
Yeah, you're making a very good point that the elevated soul sees the good qualities. And we might add that what happens to that fallen soul when somebody appreciates something good about him? There's the Baal Shem Tov, who's the Hasidic Jewish spiritual master, and they went behind the barn and they saw two young boys were smoking cigarettes on the Sabbath. And the person who was with the Baal Shem Tov said, oh, they're smoking intoxication on the Sabbath. And the Baal Shem Tov said, well, maybe they didn't know it was the Sabbath. And actually, it shows that they were humble and knew that they shouldn't be doing this. That's why they were hiding behind the barn, But then the commentary goes on to say, when the boys saw that the Baal Shem Tov was kind to them and appreciating them and finding some goodness in their ridiculous activity, that they were affected, and they saw that this person is not just pushing us down and condemning us and you're going to hell and you're never coming back, but actually caring for us and not withholding the instruction that this isn't a good thing. And so they became obedient, and they took shelter of the spiritual person. So that's like an interesting thing. What happens to that person when somebody sees a tiny little spark of goodness in them and fans it, like you said, is that they realize, wow, he found goodness in me of a ridiculous
he was
encouraged me.
even Karna was grateful for his whole life to Duryodhana. The Duryodhana picked out that this Karna, this man has got something. He's may come from a lower family, but look at him, he's so qualified. So then Karna was indebted to him for life.
Yeah, where does it go from there? After somebody speaks a word of appreciation and finds something good, even in a dirty place. And the Hasidic Jewish people also say, suppose there is a bad man, rotten to the core, evil, sinful, and you think of something about him. Oh, he works hard. Oh, you find something about him that is positive, and you use that appreciation of his quality to inspire you to go forward in spiritual life. Then that person is engaged in devotional service because he inspired you in devotional service. But if you find a good person and you find some bad thing about it, and you never know, that person, that bad person, maybe he already confessed that evil habit that he had. Maybe he gave it up, and you're still thinking about the dirt. But if you find a good person and you find something bad about him and you're thinking about that, then your mind is in the toilet. And what good is that for anybody? Not for you, not for them.
Thank you.
Okay.
Today must be Jewish Day at the Interfaith Center, I think. Okay. Thank you. Vijay has a question. Why Bali being a pure... Oh, wait, there was a question that's floated off the chat box. Not everything is always... Is Shukracharya, Manish asks, not giving spiritual instructions? Why is Krishna saying he's Shukracharya among poets? Kavi can mean poet. Kavi can also mean like a thinker. So why Shukracharya? He's big. He's prominent. He was the spiritual master of the demons. Well, that's a big position. Just like President of the United States or something. He's the leader of a big, oppressive country, if you want to look at it that way. But he's big. He's not a small man. Or look at it a different way. Whoever, Putin, he's the leader of a big country, or anyone. So they may not be in our camp, but they're big. So Shukracharya is big. Even among this, I'm that. What is that? Yad yad vibhutimad sattvam shrimad urjitam eva va. Before that, there's another verse. Anyway, the meaning is that anything that's powerful, beautiful, first in its class, that represents me. When you see something great, even you see a great demon, you think of me. Because Krishna is the greatest of the great. So Shukracharya, he's not a pure devotee, he's not giving spiritual instructions, but he's a big man after all. All right, then he represents Krishna. Danda damayatam asmi. Among methods of punishment, I'm the stick. Among aquatics, I'm the shark. Shark's not a very nice fish. When there's a shark alert, people don't throng to the ocean to dive in and have the association of the sharks. lawyers are compared to sharks. It's not a favorable comparison. But the shark represents Krishna. Why? It's first in its class. So Shukracharya is also outstanding. Therefore, he represents Krishna. Then the next question. Yad yad piputimat sattva srimad urjitameva va. I know that. Oh yeah, that was the verse I was thinking of. For some reason I thought it wasn't, but it was. Okay. Again, this is rolling off the screen. Let me roll it back onto the screen. Why did Bali, being a pure devotee, accept to engage Vamandev in service as doorkeeper? Well, if Krishna wants to take a position, you can't stop him. That's what I would take it. I think Krishna wanted to take that position. All right, what can be done? Prashant asks a very general question. What types of service can one engage in whilst being at home in this period? There's so many. You can hear, you can chant, you can do whatever you can do from home. There's, what limit is there? The limit is your own imagination. There's lots of people who are making big money from home right now. There are people who are running corporations from home. There are people who are doing all sorts of social activities from home. There are people who are doing so many things, family matters, playing games at home. There are kids all over the world who are playing multiplayer massive games. Practically these days, why even go to work? So many people are working from home. So at home you can preach, you can sell books. Devotees are staying home, they're making phone calls and selling books. You can look after other devotees, call them up, or congregational members. Is everything all right? Do you have everything you need? Any problems? So much work you can do like that. Planning, those who are leaders can plan. How do we spread Krishna consciousness? What plans can we make? You can be on the internet and preach unlimitedly. Reading circles. There's more Zoom classes than one knows what to do with these days. Big problem is I want to attend 5 classes at once. You can do all of that. I don't really see, the only thing you can't do is go out and be in the midst of lots and lots of people and hold big public meetings and so on. But ahoitukiya pratiyata, we're not limited by any such circumstances. I just noted, however, that we're at 8:02 and we're supposed to stop at 8. And so, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you all very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Maharaj. Hare Krishna.